Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
Yo.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, let me share the screen. Just hold on. Hope you're all able to see the screen. Can anyone give me one thumbs up or something? Yeah, thank you. Be seated. Keep your back spine straight. Allow your palms to settle down. Feel the energy on the palm. Be comfortable with your breath. Bring your attention to your breath. As you bring your attention, you're tuning to your breath. You're feeling very comfortable with your breath. You're feeling grateful for the breath. And you're observing the in breath and the out breath. How does it feel inhaling? How does it feel exhaling? Continue. Become more and more comfortable with your in breath and the out breath. Join your palms at the heart center with absolute reverence towards the Almighty. Let's chant 3 Oms. Inhale. Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञं स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयनिनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
Namaste once more. Today we have a very low attendance, but we are all in. Let's begin. Let me share the screen first so that we can do a revision of the previous one. 1 second. Where is it? Are you all able to see the book screen now? Okay, great. Okay. Where is this? Yeah. So, is Aarti there? I think, yeah, she has left, no problem. She'll come back. So the story went by. We saw Parikshit was right now the ruler of Hastinapura. He is a grandson he's a son of Abhimanyu, and he is the only the lineage of the Pandavas, right? He is only Raja, and he proves true to all the predictions given to him that he is going to be a a ruler who is going to be most just, most noble, and with lots of good deeds. So on the banks of the Saraswati, he observes a bull talking to a cow, and the cow looks as if it has lost her calf. There is tears flowing on the cow, and the bull was actually only on one leg. And the bull is asking the cow, why, what happened? You look so sick. Who's causing you this pain? Why, what is happening to you? I feel really, is someone very dear to you? Have you lost someone? So many questions the bull is asking. And, is what are you really sad about the decay of dharma? What's happening? Are women not protected in this earth? What is happening? Parents are not respecting the children, is it? What is happening? Is goddess Saraswati, has she left the Brahmins' houses, or what are you mourning for, oh cow? What are you mourning for? Is the entire mankind being so immersed there that they have forgotten the Lord? Why are you sad? What has happened? So there is concepts of dharma, adharma, and all our concepts are talked. And we talked last time about dharma concepts there, and what is dharma. And we also slowly talked about the concept of the four legs. Slowly we have entered the four legs, right? By now I think all of you would have understood what is this bull and what is the cow representing. I am sure if anyone who has missed last time, the cow representing the mother earth, the bull representing the dharma. Yes, Aarti is back. So and that is how the discussions were going on about dharma. So Aarti, you would like to give any small revision of last time, and so that we have a nice continuation?
Yes. So this dharma, the bull is dharma. Okay. And if you see also now dharma is sitting on Nandi. Nandi is a bull. Shiva, Lord Shiva sitting on dharma is like he is the one who is the uses dharma as the vehicle to lead people towards him. Okay, he is all above dharma. That is the whole idea. The bull is a representation of dharma. And what is dharma? Dharma is it's a very, very complicated word, and can have multiple meanings in different contexts, actually. So at the larger context, at our context, but for our understanding, over the four yugas, the four legs of this bull have been defined as tapas, shaucha, dana, and satya. Tapas, shaucha, dana, and satya.
Daya, no?
Daya and satya. Tapas, shaucha, daya, and satya. So now when we look at, now tapas is severe like austerity or a strong willpower in a way, which, when you have a clear direction and you hold that direction, it's a kind of willpower. What is tapas? They stand on one leg. All that needs a lot of determination and willpower, right? And willpower to do what? To stay on the path of Shreyas. We looked at Shreyas and Preyas, that which gives us long-term happiness and short-term returns, that which keeps us ardently on the path of Shreyas is tapas. And then when we look at the next one, shaucha, it is cleanliness, discipline. When I have a sense of discipline and keeping, when there is an order outside and within me, there was a beautiful forward. today also, when with regard to this in the Bhagavatam group only. I think it is about how we keep cleaning the outside, but what we need to do is really keeping things in order within our own minds, right? That shaucha, when we keep, if we are disciplined in our lives, when I take my shoes out, I put it in, I know where to find them the next time. When I keep my clothes where they have to go, instead of saying, anyway, I have to take it and use it tomorrow, and I leave it outside, then it will keep piling up, and then I will not be able to. That is Shreyas. And that is the difference between Shreyas and Preyas. I just have short-term gains. I look, oh, this is difficult. Anyway, I need it tomorrow. And every day, if it keeps piling, then I start searching for it. Then there is chaos, and then cleaning up becomes one extra activity. But from the beginning, if there is shaucha, there is that discipline that we follow, then which is also of the mind. If every year, every day, every end of every day, I keep practicing this shaucha, cleaning up my mind as a discipline. What were the qualities? What were my feelings today? What were my thoughts today? Were they negative? Were they positive? Let me flush it out. What do I need to flush out? What do I need to keep? If I follow that as a discipline, even within me, then there is that shaucha, and I don't have to do one separate exercise of going to a retreat and cleaning myself and flushing things out and going for healing and this and that, right? Because that shaucha is happening naturally. And then daya. Daya is that kindness where I move beyond myself. Where we looked at that story between the two brothers. One where this brother is going and keeping 10 extra bags of rice. That brother thinks, both of them are coming from a space of, I have so much, but it's not fair that I get so much and the other person gets just as much as me. He should get more. He should get more than me. I have so much, but I am still content in myself, and the other person should get more than me. So now this is going beyond oneself. And to really be able to practice this kind of kindness, that discipline and that willpower that I practice will only be able to bring that daya in me. Because I have that fullness within me. I am not cluttered. I am not, that Shreyas Marga is very clear for me. And very naturally, that sense of he should have more than me. That kind of feeling, that is the daya, where we go beyond ourselves and others. I have so much. Let the others have more. I am happy. And so that is daya. And the last is truth. The last leg. In fact, it is said that for Kali Yuga, truth is the main dharma for us. And what does truth mean? Many times truth, even in the name of kindness, sometimes what we do is we may tell the untruth. We may do the untruth just to keep good relations. I am seeing something wrong is going on, but I don't want to tell why all this mess up, or I may tell, just try to pacify that person, keep it in that pacification mode where I am not even able to, because I am afraid of the disharmony that will cause.
Again, the prayers path, no?
Yeah, now let me be happy. Okay, why take this disharmony path and spoil our relationship and do all of this? Even though, so in that kindness also, I am choosing a prayers path rather than the path of truth, where I uphold the truth at all point in time and don't go with the flow, because that disharmony could later be really, really good for me and for the other person also in the long run. But I choose the path of no conflict outside.
Yeah, here one in the truth angle, there is a pure example of Vibhishana. Vibhishana, right in front of him, he sees an adharmic act which is done by Ravana. he doesn't sit back and say that, let me just sit there. He felt that his mind was disturbed because something is wrong in front of his eyes, and he didn't mind at that. Because, see, long time ago, remember that yuga is a brother, means brother is considered to be in a position of a father, a father, guru, everyone. And imagine that position of Vibhishana there, standing right in front of Ravana there, and telling him that what you're doing is wrong. That ability, that courage to stand up for the truth, saying that itself is so important there. Here again, last time we talked about Nyaya Drishti and Dharma Drishti also. And Vibhishana, if he has not spoken like Kumbhakarna, it is also Nyaya. Like Kumbhakarna, he also said, Raghuramji always talks about Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana examples. See, Kumbhakarna, he felt that he will be with his brother. So we cannot say he was adharmic. He has done his nyaya being there with his brother. He did not see at that time that brother is doing this and this. But he felt that, oh brother, what you have done is wrong, but I am there for you. But Vibhishana, he saw that his brother has done wrong, what is happening is wrong, but he stood there and then told the truth, that what you did is wrong. I really hope even now you have time, oh Ravana, oh brother, you have time. Even now return Sita, you don't know with whom are you fighting. He is Lord Rama, he is Vishnu himself. So that the truth angle comes very, very strongly here, which maybe all of us could I think it comes Satya and Ahimsa comes joined together whenever we read the Yama Niyamas also. That is, but when we tell the truth also, how we say the truth also, it's very important. Are we telling with that Daya angle, little bit of that compassion words, is it coming when we tell the truth? Sometimes people say, no Prabha, I will say because this is the truth, that's it. So, but how are we saying? How does it come to the other? How does it reach to the other person? That is why the daya is beautiful, combined together. It's like they're combos, as they say. Yes, Aarti.
So the key here is, am I choosing a mode of disharmony or am I choosing the right path? When I'm telling the truth also, it must come from a space that it makes, because it is out of daya for that other person. That other person, what that other person is not able to see, I want to make sure he is seeing. It is not coming from a space of judgment. When it comes from a space of judgment, that truth will come very differently. When it comes from a space of compassion, from daya, it comes out very differently and will reach the other person. May or may not. That is different. But at least what I am doing, somebody has to mute themselves. Just mute them all again. So coming from that space of compassion becomes very important. I'm not reading. If anybody remembers this story from the Bhagavatam, there is this story of one of the Rishi's son who was extremely, I am not getting his name, I'm just trying to remember. He was a dud. Okay, his father was very, very upset with him. That this man, he's no good. He had no motivation. He had no discipline. He had none of the things. But the one thing that this boy always decided was, and his father says, now you go out of the house. You have been a disgrace for me. And he sends him out of the house. And his name starts from S, but I'm not getting the name. And then he goes. But one thing, he has no discipline. He's absolutely not able to learn the Vedas, learn anything. None of this is getting into his mind. But the one thing he decides is, I will always speak the truth. Okay. And then he goes, and then when he's just roaming around one day, and one day he's in one place, just resting in one place. At that point in time, okay, I'll try to remember this story. This is a beautiful story on truth, okay? But something happened. No, I think I'll bring it back again. Just struck me. I will go over it and tell it some other time.
Oh, yeah. See, about this truth, I'm just getting a different angle. It's just coming to my mind. See, if we equate truth to God, Brahman. Someone has written something unknowingly, was that? Okay. So if we know truth is Brahman, right? So that is why without that is the last leg. So without Brahman, there is no Dharma. Dharma is Brahman and Brahman is Dharma, right? So the rest all, even if we leave in Kali Yuga, the rest all are not seen much. But yet, if someone is holding on to Bhagavan, okay, the rest all just follows. Kali Yuga also, that is the, we keep hearing, right? In Bhakti Marga, just do the Namasmarana, remember the God, remember Bhagavan, because it is very difficult. The Raja Yoga path, if you see, it is extremely difficult to get that kind of tapas. Is it very noisy? Are you able to hear some noise behind?
Noise is there, Bala. Chaos is there. We can hear you. No problem.
Yeah, but then I will try again.
No, it
Sorry.
doesn't disturb. No problem. No problem. Please continue.
So, Bhagavan, when we hold on to Bhagavan, yes, who is the truth? The rest all are anyway Maya, right? The rest all are, whatever we see is not true. That is what is the, in chapter 2, Bhagavan starts with that as the first teaching to Arjuna, through Arjuna to all of us, saying that except Bhagavan, the rest all are anitya. The rest all are unreal. I'm not remembering the Sanskrit word for that. Unreal, he says, right? So only reality is Brahman. So when we, for in Kali Yuga especially, we do not have that, faculties are not, powerful enough to do that kind of tapasya, as people used to do in the Treta Yuga or in Satya Yuga. So that kind of, we can't imagine ourselves like the Hiranyakashipu, or even that kind of tapas. Yes, it is all so limited. Even though we try, we say manasika tapas, we do try all that, but the level of tapas to reach, the dharmic way, it is really, really not possible because of the limitation of our body, mind, and intellect. So they say, hold on to the Satya, which is Bhagavan. Hold on to Bhagavan, be in that Bhakti Marga, automatically compassion comes. There is no, and then yes, Shaucha, yes, he takes care of the Shaucha, tapas, whatever is needed, so that we are in the dharmic path. This is something, just an example.
These are our initial, if at all, but until we are able to find it in us to surrender.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, all these disciplines, to whatever extent that we can follow, we follow until some amount of cleaning has happened within me, so that then I find it in me to surrender. Right at the beginning, I may not be able to surrender sometimes, right? That proper sense of surrender may not come. It may become a tamasic surrender sometimes. So when we, to whatever extent we can, we do it. And after that, it is all about, as Bhagavad Gita in Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So lower dharmas or duties can be discarded in favor of the higher dharma, which is surrender to the highest truth, the Lord.
And once that surrender to the highest truth is there, it is not possible to do all these lower.
It's basically, last time we had a discussion, right? It is between the professor and the students. As a student, we need to have the discipline to keep handling the whatever the experiments with care, keep washing the burettes or test tubes or whatever. That discipline is important. So that step, but the professor is already gone beyond that. So he doesn't need to clean the burette, or because he's already a dharmic purusha there, a dharmatita or whatever it is. So you can't say that, are you following dharma? He's already an embodiment of dharma. But here we are all here as the students there. We have to have these tenets of dharma, so that we have to follow this. And here is where I remember one more, when you were talking about tapas and this thing, I suddenly remember, because Raghuramji keeps talking about these combos, is regarding Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, as you all know, he was a Raja in the beginning, right? You all know how the story of how he enters into Vashishta, this thing, and he watches Kamadhenu and he wants the Kamadhenu. Then he looks at the Vashishta's power and he decides that he also wants to be a Rishi, and he starts his tapas. He's tapas. He says Rishi, and finally Indra came and say, oh Vishwamitra, oh Rishi, now we are blessed that you are a Raj Rishi. Again Vishwamitra is so upset about it, right? And again does tapas, and again he visits Vashishta Muni's, because he wants to hear from Vashishta Muni's mouth that you have become a Brahma Rishi. So that is his goal, that I need to Brahma Rishi because I want to be equal to Vashishta Muni or more better than Vashishta Muni. That was a reason for his tapas only. So again he does tapas. He goes to Vashishta Muni, and Vashishta Muni says, oh, welcome Rajarishi, please have a seat. Immediately Vishwamitra gets so angry. There is anger there, and he burns Vashishta Muni's sons immediately with the power of his tapas. He has that much power. He burns them. He goes back. Again does tapas. Again he goes back. Again Vashishta Muni says, oh, welcome Rajarishi, please have a seat. Once more again he burns. There is so much of anger. After the anger, Vishwamitra feels that, oh, I have wasted all my spiritual power on my anger. And now the more and more tapas he feels, suddenly there is a kind of that, from that anger there is a melting happening. It just melts. And then he comes back to Vashishta Muni. Vashishta Muni makes him sits, and at the moment when he is about to sit, he already knows that now Vashishta Muni is going to say Raja Rishi or Brahma Rishi. What is he going to say? But by that time he's already gone beyond all that. So at that time a child comes. Actually he's the youngest son of Vashishta Muni. He comes there, and everyone around is looking worried because they know the power of Vishwamitras. They know that this boy, what is he going to be? He is right there in the pedestal. What is going to be happening? And the moment Vishwamitra looks at this boy, there is a sense of absolute compassion, and that love, that prema just overflows. And then he just looks at this boy with that way, and the Vashishta Muni observes that. He says, welcome, O Brahma Rishi, have a seat. So the tapas, all those things, who comes higher than that? The compassion, the daya comes higher. When that comes, then the person becomes a whole. So Raghuramji, when he talks, we get goosebumps. So I am not able to convey in that manner. But there itself, one more story he used to tell, where Shastriji used to talk about dharma is, there it seems Brahma was sitting, and the Danavas, that is Asuras come, Devas come, Manava, the man also comes. They all visit Brahma. Each representative of each this thing they visit, and they say that please give us some advice, what we need to do for this, what we need to do. And Brahma only says the, that's it, only one word, the D-A, the, I'm telling in English, the. And each person takes back some lesson. The Danavas, the Asuras decided, oh, I think we are too cruel to people. We need daya. So maybe we need daya. Let us try to imbibe daya. The Manavas felt that, I think the Lord is telling us that we are too miserly in our earth. We need to have little bit more dana. We need to do charity. And Devas, they felt that maybe they are indulging too much. So we need to have dhamma, that is the self-control, the nigraha, indriya nigraha. So I need that self-control. So everyone took back, the takeaway message for them was different. One wanted dana, one was said daya, and one said dhamma, that is this. So the self-control, indriya nigraha. So it was that time they said that these are the three tenets of dharma itself. Daya, that is of course, for what you need daya? How can you inculcate daya when we have prema? Prema results in daya. How can you have tyaga, the dana, the tyaga ability, the ability to be absolutely selfless and absolutely have that charity mode, to not even look whether that who is asking me. Not an enemy, anyone who's asking me, I'm having that ability to do dana. That we are already bombarded with so many sensual pleasures. Vishaya Bhoga is there, all object pleasures all around us, right? So the mind absolutely gets carried away with all that. So what do we need? Indriya, that is the sense control, the sense restraints, or whatever you could call in English. So that we need. So the prema, tyaga and nigraha, that is again they become again the tenets of dharma. So that was a very beautiful way I remember Raghuramji talking about. Yeah.
Very nice. For this Daya, I just want to share a beautiful incident. I've been to Pandaripur, blessed to get Vithal's darshan. So, just remembering that it's a beautiful. So, when again an example of when we hold on to the Lord, be it just chanting his nama, be it without even knowing he is the real, just holding on to the Lord itself dissolves ego, right? And slowly, slowly, that ultimate surrender bhakti comes. Initially, it is, for my own, we have seen that levels of bhakti also, right? It could be. But then my ego is thin everywhere. It is Bhagavan, for Bhagavan. So, as we were standing in the queue, all those people, everyone, they were all chanting, and it was too crowded and very hot. Okay, we were standing one next, really like this, there were not enough space at one point in time as we were going closer to the Garbhagudi. And the flow, so my feet, there was a mat put, but few of us did not have, enough space to keep our feet on that carpet. The carpet was not as hot as the floor. Floor was extremely hot. So we were literally like there on the floor. I still remember one person who was there. He himself did not have enough space. It is like, "Arey, aajao, andar aajao, oh, bahut garam hai." That kind of compassion. He could see the pain that was there for each one of us. He also is waiting in the queue too for so many hours, but yet he is. That Daya is what I connected when he could really, he said, "Come, somehow we will manage. Get in. And as he said, he just pulled inside, and somehow it was not comfortable for him too. It was not comfortable. But then somehow he said, all of us together will go and get darshan of Vittal. So that was the kind of, everyone is looked there as, Vittal's children. And everyone, sab log is Vittala's. And that is how all of us relate. It was very beautiful to see when it is so God-centered, when everything is so God-centered, this Daya just flows. And it was very beautiful. This is just one example. If I start talking about it, the whole class will get
The Daya absolutely embraces you, I think. You just feel so whole. I don't know how to convey it in words, but you embrace the other person as a whole, and and automatically the tyaga came along, right? So
yeah, he is not bothered about his comfort now. He is looking at someone who is suffering because of that heat and taking them also in a comfort zone. It was very beautiful. I can't. So that love automatically, when it is there, I think when we start directing love towards Bhagavan, we start seeing Bhagavan everywhere. Yes, seeing everyone as Vittal. We see Bhagavan everywhere. That just comes.
No, this Karna also, when I keep coming to Karna, but where there also that the tyaga, the tyaga or the daya, whatever the words you can call it is, he knew that Indra is coming. He was already warned by his father, saying that he's going to be coming and going to be asking you the most important thing, which is your kundala and your kavacha, which is going to be protecting you, and he's going to ask you, better not give. So we can see in our own day-to-day life, right? Maybe we have a feeling that somebody is coming to us with maybe that kind of an intention. What is the intention? We don't know. And somebody is warning you, hey, this is going to happen. You better not give. You better not share. How can we've seen teenagers also. Why should I share, Amma? He's so mean. Okay. So but here Karna knew that the intention of Indra. But even then, when he was asked, he just gave. Same thing I remember in Arjuna and Krishna fighting for Agni in the Kandava forest. The Mayasura comes and runs because Krishna is after him, and he runs and falls at the feet of Arjuna. So there Arjuna is not saying that he is Asura. Why should I even protect him? Why should I even kill him? So there he kind of has that dharma that I am a Kshatriya, I am protecting. So that's it. So my dharma is to protect. My dharma is to show compassion to anyone who comes and asks for protection. That is the way it is. Do you want to
Another
continue?
example for Daya, I was thinking of, Rama and Bharata. Each of them giving up the throne for the other and saying, yeah, this is what is right in the long run. Whatever my father, Bharata is also a good king. He will also rule the subjects well. My subjects are in good hand. Okay. So, and what was Bharata saying? No, this throne belongs to Rama only. And in that truth also, when Rama went to Kaikeyi, he did not tell her that she was being wrong, because if he told her, even though what he may have thought in his mind, if he told her that, would she have been in the space of receiving it? She would have only thought that he is being selfish, and the whole point would. But when Bharata said it, tells his mother, you were wrong, and he's very strong to stand on that as well, right? So actually, Preeti, Satyakama's story, correct, ma? Yeah, you have written, no? If you want, you can please elaborate on that truth here a little through Satyakama's story. Do you know it, Preeti?
Hariom, Aarti, it's not coming to me on top of my mind.
No,
but
that's what some of the parts, because that is very beautiful how he shifts the truth.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but it is
in the
Satyakama.
Upanishad, actually. Upanishadic story.
Okay, yes, right. But from the Upanishad, it's been taken. I read it in the Mahabharata also.
Chandogya Upanishad.
Yeah, okay. So, and Harini, you are saying, yes, when we leave our ego, when we are with the higher Brahman, the compassion automatically flows. We are away from our ego at that point in time, right? The ego, when the ego is sublimed, that is when the true compassion can really, really actually flow from us.
There is absolutely ego. I only will not be there because it's already beautifully melted.
Because the other is there. The other is also a part of the whole, part of me, part of him, right? So then, yes, it is right. Only when our ego is sublimed, then the me and mine, because as long as I am in the me and mine, whatever I do also, I will expect some return. There is something I am expecting.
There is a thing coming, right? When we say, when we are, for example, in our day-to-day life, if we have a maid in our house and we decide, let me donate do some dana to the maid for the child, for her child, this thing, and we say, see, I am giving dana, I am doing charity, I am being compassionate. And maybe after a few days, you would have just given maybe a week ago, and after a few days she comes and calls me, Amma, that I am taking 15 days holiday. And immediately anger comes. See, I gave this much. See, these ungrateful people. That is why we should not give. They don't realize the value of, their gratefulness. They don't realize how much I am giving, how much I am being so accommodative to my maid, how much I am giving this much to her. Instead of that, I could have given there. Why I gave her? I gave 15,000 rupees with no interest. So here, is there dana? Is there compassion? So that is where again and again, everywhere we need to question and step back. That's just a 1 minute step back. It will really help us. That somebody has asked, is this only for a monk or a grihastha? Hare, it is meant for all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. The tapas.
Even a monk may not be able to practice it.
Yes.
If he does not have, if the ego is high, it doesn't matter where you are. That story is there, no? I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. There is one guy who went to who comes to a village, and there, as soon as he enters the village, he sees one a wise man sitting under a tree, and he goes to him and he says, "Can I am just looking to move into this village because for work reasons I have moved out. I am planning to come here. So how is this village?" And this man says, "Okay, how was your earlier village?" And this man says, no, that village was bad. People were into gossiping. People were judging everybody. They were not at all supporting each other. No compassion, nothing at all. Okay, so that turns out that I am just waiting to leave that village. I am hoping this village will be better in some way so that I can come and be here. And then the wise man says, I don't think you should move into this village because this village is also the same. I don't think you should move into this village. It's exactly the same as you have described. Okay, so then this man goes away. Another man comes after some time, and he also comes and asks this man, should I move in? I'm looking at this village. How is this? I'm looking to move in here. And then the man again asks him, how was your earlier village? And he says, no, it was a beautiful, people were just wonderful, very helping, very kind, and there was such a nice neighborhood, and I really loved being in that place, but because of my work I'm having to move out, otherwise I would just not have wanted to move away from this place. Then this wise man says, I think you should move into this village. This village is exactly like that other village. I think you should move into this village. So then this wise man, there was one man sitting with him. He asks him, why, how did you, for that man you said this village, he said that was horrible. You said, okay, this village is the same. And to this man, you're saying this village is the same. He says, no, he is carrying the village in his mind. All those feelings so wherever he goes, it is going to be the same. So whether you are in a monastery or you are in a house, what is here is all that matters, right? Wherever you are. The point is that, so it doesn't matter because this mind is going with you wherever you are going. Unless the change happens here, it is not. And we are in a wonderful place as grihasthas to practice it. Every day we have these situations thrown at us to really, how keen, how clear am I? Doesn't mean just because I'm materialistic, how am I? There are certain, I know most of the confusion comes because I am also having to deal with a materialistic world in my grihastha. My question largely comes with my children. They are at a different phase of their life, so they are having to engage with the materialistic life. But how can I detach myself from that and be the witness and be engaged in the world and practice this whole thing and be conscious at every occasion? Like Prabha said, no, I gave a dana, and then the next in 15 days only that dana lost its effect because I thought I have given, and look at her. So somewhere that I concept is there. So it's all within us.
This Duryodhana mind sometimes comes to us, where Duryodhana was ruling Hastinapura, but again he looked at Yudhishthira's Indraprastha and all these things again, that Matsarya, that jealousy came. So somewhere every time there is a comparison which brings about lot of disharmony. So that itself has to have, this cleanliness has to happen there itself. Am I comparing and making my life this thing? What am I complaining that others are not, behaving as I want them to be? There is a beautiful quote, right? I think you would have read it. When you look at the sunset, are you thinking that, okay, little bit less color here, more color there? Are you trying to change the sunset color itself? Just look at the sunset. So Duryodhana was not like that. So where are we having the Duryodhana mind? Then we have to clean it. Are we having the mamakara and that thing? Then we have to develop little compassion. Are we thinking that no, I am very nyaya drishti, I will do only what I think is right? But are we looking at other things so that it is all encompassing? Are we having that other concepts of dharma also, the tenets of dharma, so that we are upholding dharma and not saying that I am doing right, that's it. What is right? What is right to you? So again, the one question is, what is right to you may not be the right. That is itself a huge discussion, right? Right and wrong. So sometimes it's all stuck on our own belief that we think that this is right, we think that this is wrong, that's it, and we don't want to change that. And somebody else, opposite person, comes and they say this is not, this for them that is wrong and this is right, and that brings about clash. So again, finally, very beautifully, again, I think in some Upanishads, I don't know which Upanishad, but they say, if you are upholding dharma, if it is bringing about chitta shanti, that is an absolute that is a no mind state, absolute a state where you are thoughtless, or where you are having a complete sense of peace, then you know that you are in the dharmic way. I think somebody asked that question last time. I remember that how will you know that you are in the path of dharma? That somewhere you have to look back and think that what I am doing, is it coming for to satisfy for my own belief or my own needs, or you are doing it thinking in a state of daya, dana, tyaga, prema, all these tenets are coming along. Then we will know that this is dharmic. I remember we think that this is not, that is not. So I remember my father-in-law used to keep telling that so remember that whenever you are doing anything, is it bringing you a sense of peace? It is enlivening you and enlivening others. If it is you are thinking it is, this is how it is, then you are just following yaya. You are not following dharma. Dharmic path is not that. So
similarly, that surrender mode to Krishna, they all had their own dharma, the Pandavas. But on the Kurukshetra field, Krishna said, they did. They did not question. They just made themselves instruments. Because they understood, he understood dharma at a level that they probably did not understand. It was at a much higher level. So when we are able to sublime our ego, slowly and steadily, he shines through us. And then this whole structure framework, that fence may not be needed at that point. It is a fence initially. Afterwards, it may not be needed.
we would like to read a little bit here. It has been
Yes.
said that it will be good in this paragraph.
It has been said that penance, cleanliness, hold on one sec. Penance, tapas, shaucha, compassion, daya, and truth, satya are the four legs of dharma. Pride is responsible for the destruction of tapas. So when that high willpower is there, there can be a sense of pride that comes in. Indulgence and arrogance for that of the other two. That is for shaucha and daya. Okay, discipline, because my senses are engaged and in indulging in other things, my discipline can go off, my daya can also go away, because I am more into my own self-indulgence at that point in time. So compassion for other takes a back seat and my own indulgence becomes higher. And smaya, indulgence and arrogance for that of the other two. In the Kali Yuga, man can be said to practice dharma only by the observance of truth, and that is the one leg on which you are standing. This Kali is trying to kill truth and replace it with his weapon, untruth. Right now, that bull, there is one man, there is a talk of a low-born man coming as in the garment of a Kshatriya, trying to hit the leg, the fourth leg also. Okay, so that low-born man, Shudra, also these are not based on how they are born. All these people we are classified by our desires. We are, yes, Bala.
No, you finish, and then I would like to go through this Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya.
So we are governed by our desires. Okay, and we are classified by our varna, which comes out. Varna is that flavor or that nature of ours which comes from our own desires. Now, when you look at the desires, we can have at the basal desire, it is, let me have ahara, maituna, and bhaya. Like an animal, I need something to eat, I need, just to reproduce. And I am living with fear, like animals, typically like a deer, it's constantly alert and it reproduces, So that is the basal level desire. And as you go on, you want some amount of pleasure, you want companionship, then there is the desire to have a certain amount of status in the society. When I go to a marriage, I want to be able to gift something so that the others don't think less of me. that I am, or I need to, when somebody comes home, I need to have a decent house, so that, a kind of status of a factor comes in. And after that, we move on to desires of, okay, let me serve people, let me give, I have so much, let me also kind of give other people. Now, earlier, we were just in that, just pleasure mode, and our own, completely oriented to myself, my eating, my baya, my protection, and my status and all that. So those things come under the Shudra desires. Okay, if we have to classify. And then when we go to, a little, let me give a little charity, still status and all is there, a little, I want to be known in the world. And then there is some amount of philosophizing of life I have based on, because I am successful now in some ways. So I have my own philosophy of how things go and all that, And so when those kind of desires come in, then we are operating in the range of Vaishyas, based on those kind of desires. And then when we move on to, now I have a certain philosophy, and I want to bring order outside in the people. I want, based on these vision that I have, I want to bring a certain kind of order. So there is a leadership role. I want to bring order among people. And so that becomes, when there is a leadership, the desire to go and create order around me and maintain order around me, administration, then that becomes a Kshatriya desire. And further desire is when I start thinking about, I really take interest in philosophy. Even in a Kshatriya, you will have philosophical desires, understanding the, vision. To create a vision, you have to have certain kind of learnings and vision and all that. And then further, it is, who am I? Why am I living in this world? What is the purpose of my life? So that kind of a vision, when somebody has, such people become Brahmanas. So it is the desire that is driving you in this life, largely, which defines who you are. To some extent, because of the way the whole karmic design is made, people may be born in a house, and hence birth was taken into consideration. But there is no guarantee that a person who is born in a Brahmana house necessarily has to have Brahmana qualities. They can have other qualities also. And who is a Shudra can be completely contented and may have leadership roles even in their own society, and be able to bring about beautiful changes, and can be a Kshatriya in their. So that is their Varna. So, but what they are talking here is, in Kali Yuga, Shudras, the ones with the lower desires, will largely, a sense of lacking is there in these people at all point in time. That is why corruption comes, because I have so much. It is not with how rich or poor I am. I have a sense of lacking. No matter how much I get, it is not enough. That is why I get it in right ways or wrong ways or whatever, right? So that kind of thing is what this is. This is not about birth at all. Yes, Bala.
Yeah. Same thing. Very beautifully from the desire aspect. So I just thought I'll give a summary. Because many times I heard this from Swami Aparajitananda, which I found it very clear. So, this Varna we hear, right? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So, this Varna, we can look at it from 3 angles. Okay, what Aarti talked about is the quality. Yes. So, first that we call it as Guna. So, we also say Janma, Karma, and then Guna. Okay. By Janma means by birth. Okay. If I'm born to a Brahmin family, okay, I may call myself as a Brahmin. Someone is born in a Shudra family, he may be called as a Shudra. And likewise. So when there is, through Janma, when we call someone as a Brahmana or a Kshatriya, or identify someone at the society level, this is at the society level. When that is there is no superior, inferior. Okay, absolutely. Just because someone is born in a Brahmin family, okay, doesn't mean that he is a true Brahmana by quality. We'll come to that. Yeah. So there is no superiority there. There is no inferiority there. Okay, all are, the same. Each one of us are contributing as an instrument to this huge, to this big body called society in our own way. Okay, so that this society body runs. That's why we have in Purusha Shuktam also, right? The head is the Brahmana, the shoulders, the Kshatriya. When the Purusha is, in Purusha Shuktam, the Purusha is personified as a huge body. Okay, in that they say the head is the Brahmana. The shoulders are the Kshatriyas, the stomach is the Vaishya, the legs are the Shudras. This has got nothing to do to say that legs are inferior to my brain. Can I think that way? It is not, So what it is indicating is it's at different levels. Again, looking at the society level, okay, a group of people who are there, the what do you say, the head, the head part, meaning the people who apply their intellect, the teachers, the acharyas, all those at the in the society level, they are the brahmanas. So this we have moved. Then coming to kshatriyas, the administration, they need the manpower, right? They have to be powerful at the physical level. The people in the war today, in today's scenario, if we look at it, people who go to the war, people who are protecting our country, yes, any guards, any security, whatever, we can name them as kshatriya. Of course, all administration, leaders, everybody. Then the Vaishyas are the ones who nourish the entire body. Okay, the stomach. The Vaishyas are the one who actually get the dana, who do that business. We say, few are natural. So the business, and who are responsible for nourishing the entire body also. So there is no question of dana or anything. It was considered as a duty. That's all. That a Vaishya, the one who was in the Vaishya family, that their dharma is different at the society level. They had to, feed so many brahmanas. They have a set of things that they need to do at the society level. And then Shudras are the legs, which means it helps the entire body to walk, to move, to do everything. So at the Janma level also, there is absolutely no superiority, inferiority. At the karma level also we saw, right? Each karma has its own role to play for, if we look at the big picture. Yes, and we all are dependent on each other. Yes, without a Shudra cleaning our, whatever, the people we see going into the septic tanks and cleaning it, without that, the city wouldn't be clean. Yes, so we cannot say just because they do that, they are in the low caste. Yes, so there is no superiority, inferiority at this level. Coming to the guna level. So at the guna level, again, it is not about superior, inferior. It is about how the spiritual evolution. Yes, the one who is completely in tamas. I may be born in a Brahmin family, but I am holding on to some old rituals, knowing absolutely no meaning about it, doing a puja at home in such a way that once the puja is over, people at home are peaceful. Appa, today's thing is done. Okay, this is tamas. I'm holding on to the past. Yeah, and not ready for any change. Absolute unconscious living. I go out, just buy what mineral bottle, I want water, I want to drink. I just don't even think about the impact that of every act that I do that can have on this planet, in the society, unconscious acts. Living in auto mode. Yes, so that is a Shudra at the quality level. So many urban population maybe can relate. Unconscious mode, people who just work, order pizza. I don't know what is going inside. I don't know what is happening outside. I am least bothered. I am just working in front of the computer. Just because I am passed out of IIT does not make me a intellectual. Okay, I may have passed out of IIT, but the way I am living is a Shudra. Definitely a low way of living. Okay, coming to Vaishya. Yes, Vaishya is the one who immediately thinks, how I can make money. No, now we are in the guna, right? Yes, the guna level is Vaishya is the one who is moved from the tamas to the rajas. Yes, little bit of the tamas is there. At the same time, he is now into activities. Okay, but those activities are again for myself. Okay, for myself. Whatever I do, that is for me. So that is slowly from tamas to rajas. Then coming to kshatriya, again, that also is a little selfish only. Yes, because I may, again, unconscious living. There is no conscious living there. And slowly moving to, this is at a guna. Okay, remember, not at the way we are acting. So moving on to the kshatriya is slowly now sattva comes. There is a lot of rajas. Okay, but it is not egocentric. Now that rajas at the guna level, we are able to channelize it to for the welfare of others. Okay, the great leaders we see who are completely maybe rajasic, but whatever is done, they give out for the society. Yes, still I am doing is there, yet thinking for the welfare of society is there. So that now you have moved to that rajas sattva state, where that, that rajasic is there. And then sattva, which is pure sattva, is that brahmana at the maybe, who is completely, he or she may be a housewife, he or she may be a teacher, he or she may even be a butcher, we have seen, I think, in Bhagavatam stories. Yes, but completely the work they do is an arpana of Bhagavan. Okay, they are in the search of Bhagavan or reveling in Bhagavan. They know they are in that big picture. That at the quality level is a brahmana. So these are the 4 varnas. That's why they actually in Bhagavad Gita also, when Krishna talks about it, he's talking about the quality. Somehow over years it has been, mixed with the janma and the karma. So janma and karma came maybe during Mahabharata. They say during Ramayana it was not there. In Mahabharata, somehow within Mahabharata time, things, janma karma came in. But because human beings, we kind of, but actually it is the guna which makes sense. So for me to always assess, we have seen the 3 gunas, right? Sattva, rajas, tamas. So from the tamas moving to tamasic rajas, which is selfish activities. From there moving to rajasic sattva, okay, where the activities are still with full passion and dedication we are, yet it is for the welfare of others. And then moving to the pure sattva, that is the brahmana. So this is at the guna level. Here, yes, at the spiritual evolution level, it is a ladder. So definitely, someone who is living a conscious living is definitely more evolved than someone who is unconscious. So this is a...
Here, Bala, here I remember Raghuramji talking about the example of a tree, if you may remember. Always used to say, either in an organization or in a family or anything, like you said, there is no inferiority, superiority here. If you think a tree, the roots are the Shudras. So they absorb the water and they do all the work of doing all the things there. And then the shoots which comes there, the trunk, whatever it is, which values the water. Vaishyas, if they say they value everything, even if you give them one small piece of item, they know its value and they will make a business about it, right? So that is their trunk. The trunk is such thing, it values the sense of water, the minerals. It ensures that it absorbs all of that so that it grows stronger. That is the Vaishya there. And then the branches there, you should think like Bahu, that is the arms there. So such the strength of the branch, which is so important for the tree to grow and spread its wings or whatever. And then the leaves and the buds and the fruits are all the sattvic quality, the brahmanas there. So where the photosynthesis happened, receiving the sun's rays, receiving the wisdom, absorbing the wisdom, and beautifully enjoying the environment there, and also falls the falling of the leaves when it is required, the ego falling, and then the flower again sprout, the seed again blossoming, and all those things. So here beautifully he talks about the tree, and he always used to say, when the seed sprouts, the seed loses its seedness, the I-ness there. And when the bud opens, the bud is losing its budness to open. When the tree is growing, the tree is losing it. This is not saying I will not grow like this, I'm going to be like this. No, there is a letting go of something to grow. So how are we living there? How are we living? What kind of the qualities are we imbibing, and how we are? It makes such a beautiful role there. When you told about this, it just
he also connects to Shiva, right? He says, don't call Shiva as transformation, destruction only. Only when there is destruction, there is auspiciousness. Like when you said now, the seedness is gone. only then we see a new thing coming up, right? So this
Like
is
that
beautiful.
cocoon, the cocoon breaks, right?
Ah.
Then the butterfly comes out.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So
Whatever we do so just like the honey, it is the dharma. We just do our dharma. It doesn't matter what I am doing. I do it as a dharma. Like the dharma of the bee is to make honey. Like the dharma of the sun is to shine. Like the dharma of Vayu is, it is not telling I am doing this. That is why none of this. It is just doing. Because the reality is, it is all being orchestrated by him. Nothing is in our hand. When we realize that everything is only being orchestrated by him, everything is there, there is a purpose, and only he knows the purpose, and everything is happening. What is the connection between everything? He only understands. When I do that, I just go and keep doing my dharma with that mode of surrender.
yeah, so beautifully. I don't know, somewhere this also. So sun never gets tired of burning and shining. Okay, the wind never gets tired. It never gets tired of blowing. Okay, whatever, everything in nature, if you see, the flower never gets tired of flowering. Yes, but it is only the human who gets tired of doing our work. The reason is because they say that is also, no, that's no restfulness. The reason is because I have this thought I am doing. Yes. When that the doership is not there for the tree, the doership is not there for the leaf, the doership is not there for sun or the moon or the stars or whatever, but the doership is there for us. When the doership is not there, we are in that dharmic path. So another way of knowing what I am there, is it dharmic, is am I restful?
Yeah.
If that restfulness is there, then I know I am in the dharmic path. There is so much stress, anadi, pinadi, whatever. I know I am completely not in tune with my nature. It is because of this buddhi only, the intellect, right? That is what differs a human from all other things. So, that
Here
was
again, Shastriji says, it seems he always used to experiment. Before we end, it says, whenever he drinks a cup of coffee, he will just remain still, it seems. Okay. So people used to ask him, what is this? He's saying that, see, now I'm having boga sukha. I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. I'm trying to understand what is this sukha. What am I feeling? So, and then for everything, he used to watch television of something, and he used to just sit there and just be there. So he used to say, see, when those who are coffee lovers, I am sure would understand that morning cup of coffee, it's like amrit. I don't know, but in my family, that cup of coffee, the smell of coffee itself is so outstanding. They feel that sukha coming there, right? So for me, it's a cup of tea. When I sit there enjoying the cup of tea, I feel like that. So that we get that moment of that absolute, that sukha, that no mind state, that kind of sense of expansion, that vistarata. So that we get it in this one moment in this Boga Sukha. So think that when we are following the path of Dharma, then it seems that we get into this kind of that Vistarata expansion most of the time. It's almost all the time. That results in Chitta Shanti, the purification or the restfulness, like you say, the Naidanyata, that is the slowness of the mind. And we are absolutely with the flow. It's like the river flowing. So the dharmic path is like a flow. It just flows like the river. We never say that I am following Dharma. Even then I am having this problem. How can this happen? I am always following Satya. I have never taken bribery. I have always followed the path of Dharma here as told by Ramayana and Mahabharata characters. But still, why am I suffering? Still, there is a doubt and distrust and all that. A person following Dharma will never question, because he is already in his Atma Swarupa, whatever is Nija Swarupa, he is in his self state where there is no self, he is in a I know state, right? Sublimation there. So then where is the question that, oh Bhagwan, if I am in the following Dharma, then you better give me a better life. So
there's no I.
not come. So, yeah, so before we end the session, I think we've always told that maybe this would have been repeated, but today again I'm saying there were 4 people being in a boat, a mathematician, a scientist, a philosopher, and a boatman. Like I think there are 4 or 5, I forgot, but there are 4 people. And then this mathematician is first the philosopher is asking the boatman, have you read the Vedas? How the truth and the unmanifest and the manifest and everything, have you done all that? And this boatman is sitting and saying that, he's smiling and saying that at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, I remember my God and I'm always thankful, I'm very grateful. Oh sir, I don't know anything about this manifest, unmanifest and nothing. I don't. What? Your 40% of your life is wasted, the philosopher says. Then the mathematician says, do you know calculus and all the analysis part? You say, this is so important in life. This man says, no sir, I'm living my life. I'm rowing with my absolute capacity, and that's it. I get little bit money and I serve my family, and that's it. The mathematician, 30% of your life is absolutely gone to waste. Now who is the next person? Yeah, I said philosopher, mathematician, scientist. Yeah, the scientist says all the laws. Do you know that law, this law, all these laws and all? He started saying, this is so important in life. You have to know what is Newton's law, the relativity law, all these laws. It is important to live life knowing all that. Do you know all of that? He says, no, I don't know anything, sir. I just know that everything is in nature, is in cyclical motion. I just accept it. I am accepting it that all are so beautiful. I am enjoying this water, sir. Look at this water, so beautiful. The waves are there, so beautiful. I am enjoying, and this is how, sir. 50% of your life is wasted. Now a huge wave comes. And the wave comes, and this boat is going up. At the top of that boat, the wave comes, and when the top there, when the boatman knows that the boat is going to topple, that time he asks them, sirs, do you know how to swim? All of them says no. Oh sir, I don't know the laws. I don't know what is real and unreal. I don't know about any other calculus or anything, but I know how to swim. And the boat toppled, and all of them drowned. And who remained? A person who was there was no there was no my. He was always remembering Lord. There was who was enjoying the flow of nature, who was having gratitude towards life. There's a beautiful example of Shreyas and Prayas. So where is our path? Because what kind of a wave I am choosing? Am I thinking this is the wave for me? But am I opening, maybe there is another wave waiting for me? So what is my vision? What is my purpose? I think Aarti has told this story. I even remember Ramakrishna's book also. I think, I don't know, Aarti or someone, I don't remember, but I remember this book, this story about this four man in a boat.
This also we can look at it as, I think I will request Aarti to sing Bhajagovitam and stuff. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karani. Right? Just because I keep getting these worldly knowledge, Bhajagovindam. So swimming, maybe we can also look at it as, the self-knowledge that we are Purushartha. So all these things are not going to help me, worldly knowledge, to cross the ocean of samsara. It is Bhajagovindam which will, if Aarti is okay, if she can sing as we finish. Nice.
Okay, so we'll finish the session with Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukran karane, nahi rakshati dukran karane. अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुखलेश सत्यं पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.